Oi. Shuba-duba-dai. This blessed country, oh land of beauty, I pray for thee. Some people have that wrong philosophy that politicians can save a country. They never try and do it spiritually. And now the system exploding on we. The country in a recession, a big change from the old time religion. Mankind rewriting history in a modern but a bad version. We're living in our final days. Take a look and change your ways. For our beautiful country, going back to slavery days, only a prayer for the land can stop drug violence and crime. A prayer for the land, yes, these are the signs of the end of time. A prayer for the land, the price of living, man, is so high. A prayer for the land, that even the rich like the poor cry. You say you're concerned and care, we country living in fear, but all are we born right here. So let's say a prayer, the Almighty Father will hear. And I see, did a bad one boy. Shuba-duba-dai. Oh God Almighty, show some mercy on this our country.
Praise the Lord, show the Lord.
Our whole standard gone way down the drain. Little children using rum, crack and cocaine. It seems like wicked-itions gone insane, and everyone playing the dirty game. Too much guns and drugs in the country, owned by Tom, Dick and Harry. But if you're wrong, you must pay for it, for the law, no one above it. Put an end to victimization, oppression, and segregation. It's not a good thing for this country, so let's try and wipe it out totally with a prayer for the land, of fire and brimstone go burn with it. A prayer for the land, some say they're picking out who should get paid. A prayer for the land, and that's why the prisoners burn down the jail. A prayer for the land, one day it must prevail. Please don't let this country become an next Haiti. No peace, no unity. Bow down humbly, the Almighty will answer it. Oh yeah, did a bad one boy.
Show the Lord, show the Lord.
Shuba-duba-dai. Oh God Almighty, show some mercy on this our country. They now call we terror Paradise Island. No longer a country where peace abound. Yes, I used to boast about my land of beauty, the freest nation with democracy. But now we are the capital for drug pushers and money launderers. Shame and scandal is on we, take it state tarnish universally. Some blame it on the politicians for the unstabilized conditions. We going from bad to worse, our blessed country now cursed. But a prayer for the land, will help us to live with other people. I pray for the land, for that's why the nation in big trouble. I pray for the land, united we stand, divided we fall. I pray for the land, citizens answer your duty call. Righteousness exalts the nation. The most I hate poor man depression. So I'm calling on everyone to take a stand. Take it, listen to my song. Did a bad over boy. Shuba duba die. What? This blessed country, oh land of beauty, I pray for thee.
That's the song of the man King Craig. I pray for the land, I pray for the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. Yes, my good people, I'm DJ Maurish, and I'm coming to you live and direct from my bunker here in the Republic of St. Paul, St. Kitts. Yes, you heard it right. I'm here in the Republic of St. Paul's doing my thing. And this evening, temperature is very hot as we enjoy what is to be a beautiful Easter weekend. We will continue to have the conversation that is needed to keep our people within our lovely Federation of St. Kitts Nevis here aware of the happenings, alive and in tune. Before we get into the rest of the program, let me drop this ad and let you folks know what this program is all about. Take a quick listen.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Maurishaw's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and a candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Maurishaw. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Maurishaw, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Maurishaw. Log on.
Yes, that's the man DJ Mauricio coming at you live and direct this afternoon. I realize that there are some old friends, however they find me, from the good island of J.A. The man Courtney Beaumont, the man Bobby, how you doing? Welcome to the ride. I hope all is well with you and the crew there. Brother Sebastian Williams, good evening, good afternoon. You are early. Celine Tobias, the man Sebastian Williams. Ivor Devon, how you doing? Brother Marty, welcome to the ride. Margaret Skeet, Adrian Berry, welcome to the ride. You guys are really early. Want to say good afternoon to my baby girl there. I hope you're doing well. Daddy is missing you. Also want to say good afternoon to Sister Gwyneth Marisha, Beverly Marisha, the good folks over there in the Tobago area, the man Victor Beard, Gloria Beard, Melissa Beard, and my missionary there, Sister Deborah Wallace. I guess you're getting ready for the Easter fair. This is your time. How about the man, Brother Wallace there? Roger Wallace, hope all is well. Going across to Trinidad, touching the man, Donnell, Chanel, and the grandkids there. Hope all is well with you folks. Also want to send a little blessings to my girl there, Sister Bessie, Maud Skinner, currently resting. Down under the weather, but wish God blessings and Sister Bessie. I also want to send greetings to my extended family there, the NYPD. There was a senseless death earlier this week. One of our officers who apparently had a little traffic stop and was shot in the stomach, I understand, and lost his life. So condolences goes out to the NYPD family and to anyone else that may be facing with some kind of tragedy at this time. Remember, this is the period when they crucified the one that came to save us. So Don't be surprised that while you're trying to save others, they are busy trying to crucify you. I want to big up my boy Cabo over there in the Nevis area. Went across to Cabo last Saturday over the weekend there. I don't know if Cabo found that big fish, but I had to struggle to get that balacan and fungi. I must say the fungi. We call it balacan and that fish in the right place in my tummy. Hold me tight over the weekend. I also want to big up my boy there, Brother Daniel Atherton, for his lovely fish soup that he provided. I want to thank Sister Lynn. How you doing? Hope all is well. Also want to touch Nesta. Hope you're doing well. Sister Joycelyn, Tracy, the man Richard. Hope all is well with you guys. Well, a lot has been happening. I was looking at the parliament there yesterday for a bit when I got in. And I want to say congratulations to the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas for his achievement. 35 years as a parliamentarian in the political arena is no easy feat. So, my brother, congratulations. And I listened to your colleagues there in Parliament, including, surprisingly, the Premier of Nevis, Mark Brantley, giving his kudos and talking about not carrying any malice. And your phone is always open to him and his phone is always open to you. But I would like to know, I wonder why Premier Brantley don't practice the same thing and have his phone open to the people of St. Kitts Nevis, the nationals of St. Kitts Nevis. I have called the Premier to get some updates and I did not get him. And I'm pretty sure he's on my missed call. He haven't returned my call as yet. But that's all right. I will get him eventually. But I just want to say to the politicians out there, while you are in Parliament bigging up your colleagues and having your chatter and having a good time, everything is okay. Remember how you get there. It's the thousands of nationals, whether at home or abroad, that had to put that X in that ballot box for you to get into office to represent them. So I want to say to Prime Minister Joe this evening, I don't need no one to tell me how hard you're working. I can see that you are putting in more than overtime. You're putting in some serious time to ensure that the good citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis get what is due to them. But nevertheless, in anything, the help that is needed by some people never get to the real needy people. And sometimes it's the people that you guys have out there in positions, your functionaries that should be taking care of the needy who are not doing their job. And I don't want the situation that is currently ongoing and the complaints to become an issue come next campaign season. So I am saying to you, Prime Minister Joe, make the adjustment now. Don't wait until it's too late. You're going to be offending a few in the process, but you have to make those adjustments now. Because I can tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, while you guys in Parliament bigging up the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas for his achievements, if you were to walk the constituency number 6, you will find hundreds, if not thousands of people who are telling you how things tight and how things ain't working out for them and they're not seeing this and they're not seeing that. I am just the messenger. I know some of you might not like to hear what I'm saying, but the bottom line is these are the things that is in the general public. So whether DJ Maui should say it here or not, it does not help the situation. So as the people bring the information to me and bring the complaints to me, I definitely have to bring it to your attention so that you can address it, Honorable Prime Minister. So in the words of the man Lord Anything, I'm going to bring this one to you because it's what the people is telling me. Things tight. The Lord Anything, the late great.
Of late, I just get so worried and confused. I wonder how we going to survive. For the few pennies that the average man make weekly could hardly support his family. As taxes rise annually, reality choking me. Medical bills reaching the thousands. Big debt for me, child school fee. Even can buy grocery. While gas price rising, all the masses balling. Even the poor people catching hell, they still say in the country doing well. It's so ridiculous. Them fellas squeezing us for time so hard. Dog and no can find bones to bite. Things getting tight. Things really tight. Injustice and frustration bringing hardship on the land. While poor people suffer, big fellas bed getting butter. And when things don't go their way, they catch a plane and fly away. Watch them, you will see, they don't give a damn about you and me. Check them carefully, they're knocking glass and laughing at we. Oh.
You're the last and alive.
Body die, boom bam badai. Oh lie, jam bam bam body. Who do die? You do that. One set of fellas, they control everything, so they can't see the pain and suffering. Hotel workers experiences daily in the modern day slavery industry. As maids and waitresses fall, service charge keep getting small. Wages bottom low, they got no place to go. 3 eagles fly here daily, most times arrive half empty. Airport looks so busy, still the taxi men fussy. Even the poor people catching hell, they still say in the country doing well. Lord have mercy on us, them fellas squeezing us for time so hard. Dog and no can find bones to bite. Things getting tight, things really tight. Injustice and frustration bringing havoc on the land. While poor people suffer, big fellas bed getting butter. And when things don't go their way, they catch a boat and sail away. Watch them, you will see, they don't give two kicks about you and me. Check them carefully, they're knocking glass and laughing at we. Who do that? Who do that? Who do that? Water bills getting steeper and steeper, yet they're poisoning we with rusty water. And as soon as you owe anglet, they are quick and ready to disconnect. The telephone's gone high-tech, taking every cent you make. The commercial banks seizing jeeps and cars. On the radio station, their house is up for action. May God help we from this calamity. Even the poor people catching hell, they still say in the country doing well. Things getting serious, them fellas squeezing us for times so hard. Dog and no can find bones to bite. Things getting tight. Things really tight. Injustice and frustration bringing hardship on the land. While poor people suffer, big fellas beg getting butter. And when things don't go their way, they catch a plane and fly away. Watch them, you will see, they don't give a damn about you and me. Check them carefully, they're knocking glass and laughing at we, oh Lord.
Life to the life.
What did I? Bam, 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 they do die. We do that. What did I?
Yes, that's the sound of the man, the late great Lord Anything. And that track was sung in Anguilla for the summer festival there in Anguilla. But, you know, those songs you can relate throughout the Caribbean, as you know. We all go through the same situation from time to time. And I just want to continue to encourage our new Labour administration to continue doing the best they can do for the people, as the Prime Minister always echo, for the good that we can do, continue do it that good. Let me go back to the line here and big up a few more folks that is online to show my appreciation for you coming on weekly, keeping this program going for the past 3+ years, heading into our 4th season. Thanks to the Honorable former Prime Minister there, Timothy Harris, for locking me down in quarantine and created this program. So I want to say good evening to Patricia Hazel, good afternoon, Larry Tyson, Monica Brown, good evening. Thaddeus Depos, good evening, my brother, how are you doing? Hope all is well. Sandra Huggins, good evening. How is Yvonne and Millie and the crew there in the UK area? Want to big up sister Haley Phipps Tennant there over there in Scotland. Welcome to the ride. Brother Deacon Oral Jeffers, welcome to the ride. Good evening. Franklin Lawrence, Livingston Brown. You sure don't know how to miss a program, huh? Clayton Davis, Annette Morton, welcome to the ride. Sister Rosita Pontine, Hazel Claxton, Brother Elvis Williams, aka the King Freddie, Larrett Wharton, Joseph Brooks, Franklin Lawrence, Prince Hatward, the Turkey Killer. I want to touch up my son there in the LA area, man, Jeff Roy Jr. How are you doing? How is Sister Jazz, my sister Esther there in Tortola? Good evening. How are you doing? How is Makish and the kids? Hope all is well. Hugh Coleman's David Sr. And Evelyn, welcome to the ride. Now, we're going to drop the recording here, the commentary by the Honorable J.A. Dwyer Astafan for today, Wednesday, 27th of March. Again, I always look forward to hearing the views and the issues coming from the man, J.A. Dwyer Astafan. So let's take a listen to the J.A. Dwyer Astafan.
Greetings. In response to last week's commentary, a friend of mine agreed that our public service in St. Kitts is in bad shape, but he said that my calling for greater efficiency, professionalism, and integrity was like flogging a dead horse. Nothing will happen to change the situation. Too late, he said. If he's correct, then we are finished. If he's correct, then we will never become a sustainable island state, which is what we are told is the target for us as a country. And a good target it is. And we cannot become a sustainable island state without a competent, professional, depoliticized public service. For a country to be properly run, if we are to become a truly sustainable island state, politicians have a role to play, and we the people have a role to play. They need to know their role, and we need to know our role. And in the process, information sharing is absolutely vital. The public needs to know, the public needs to understand, the public needs to offer its views, and we need to find a way forward. Everybody must have buy-in to the concept and to the mission. That is not happening. And Douglas Watley made a point recently, very well, I must say, about the country getting buy-in to the mission of achieving sustainable island state status. If our politicians, and I mean all parties, if they do not have the guts and the vision, not even the vision, but the common sense to understand the great threat to our country's survival and success, which becomes inevitable if the public service is inefficient, unprofessional, and politically or otherwise compromised, then they do not have any right to be making decisions for us. If they do not have the moral and ethical capacity and respect and compassion for the people of the country, past, present, and future, to commit themselves to ending political interference and tribalism to the public service and the country as a whole, then they cannot lead us to becoming a sustainable island state. We need to come together as a people, certainly on the major issues. We can't agree on everything. And when we can't agree, we must disagree in a nice and friendly and respectful manner. But the fundamentals should not be difficult for us to agree on. Share the information, let the public have discussions on these things. God knows we have a lot of discussions on nonsense, things that cannot take us forward, personally or collectively. And if they cannot deliver and energize us and guide us into that direction, then perhaps we need a new set of leaders. But people get the leaders they deserve. Passing laws against corruption, while it is an improved move, it takes us nowhere if the leaders of the country lack the common sense, the moral and ethical capacity, and the respect and compassion and commitment to which I just referred. Passing laws is okay. Action is necessary. You're dealing with corruption in public life. You want a professional, uncompromised public service, from captain down to dishwasher. Let us see it in action. Don't tell me there's no corruption. Let us see it in action. Clean up the public service. And we the people need to press all political parties to commit to this. We must all focus on the process, all of us, to becoming a sustainable island state. And they must share with us their recommendations as we must share ours with them. At the same time, and in the process, we the people have to stand up and take care of ourselves so that we can cut out this dependency and entitlement attitude and culture. We cannot become sustainable if we are on our knees or our hands are extended with caps in it. There's no dignity in that. There's no sustainability in that. That's a bad message to the ancestors and an even worse message to those to come. If my friend is correct and this is indeed a dead horse, we can't accomplish it, then we have to do what Jesus did with Lazarus. Raise it from the dead. We have to do it. If we have faith and we have conviction, faith can move mountains. And Jesus showed that it can raise the dead. Failure and destruction are not options for us. Meanwhile, there are other challenges facing us, which some of you may think are dead horses too far gone to be redeemed. Dead horses which need the Lazarus treatment too, if we are going to succeed in becoming a sustainable island state. For example, Social Security. Apart from the unfortunate fact that we are not getting annual financial reports in a timely manner, successful actuarial reports have urged for significant changes to be made if Social Security is to survive over time and become sustainable. And we cannot be a sustainable island state if Social Security is not sustainable. That is as easy as night follows day. And the National Bank group of companies cannot be sustainable if Social Security is not sustainable. So where they go, we go too. The thing is, we can determine where they go, and that is what we have to do. In order to make those recommended and necessary changes, necessary because I said If the changes are not made, Social Security might not be around 15, 20 years from now. If we are to make those changes, there will be additional costs to us. And this needs to be explained to the people of the country so that this process can get buy-in. The people will have to understand, either you fit and party today or have nothing, or you make a little sacrifice today and last long. To me, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to make your choice. And this is something which all of our political parties and politicians should come together on and agree on. This is survival. Sustainable island state means survival and success. Social security is the very undergirding our successful economy and society. Is this a dead horse too? Is it too late? If it is, make sure you have some other way of getting sick benefits and pension and death benefits and maternity leave and all of these things. Money. Find another way, because if this is dead and you don't find another way, which you won't find, then you're in trouble and we're in trouble. What about energy? We cannot become a sustainable island state if we have to buy energy from a Swiss company generating the energy in St. Kitts, in Needsmos Estate. If we have to buy energy from them and from 2 Canadian-owned companies, as against buying energy produced on our soil by us and for us. Sustainability means being able to sustain ourselves. And there is nothing to do with solar power that requires us to depend on them. Nothing whatsoever. Throwing away money, enriching others, while depriving our citizens of ownership and the benefits of a vital project and service such as this, by no means puts us on the road to becoming a sustainable island state. In fact, it's a step in the opposite and wrong direction. Is this too a dead horse? Well, let's do the Jesus Lazarus thing with it. Water and food security and safety are also required if we are to be successful in becoming a sustainable island state. You know, as I think about these things, I cannot help but reflect on the historic robbery perpetrated against you, the people of this country, and your money by those who sinfully enrich themselves through our CBI program over the years. Money that would have been vital in delivering to the people of this country sustainable island status. May those robbers pay the highest price for their crimes against you. Money that could have been used to install a modern, efficient, environmentally friendly, island-wide sewage treatment and water recycling system, some of which water could be directed plant irrigation and other non-drinking purposes. Hundreds of millions, billions of dollars that could have been used to widen roads, make our island communities more user-friendly, safer to pass through. I think of the narrow road in between the brewery and Buckley's estate yard, the narrow road in Channelgers, Old Road, Sandy Point near the Catholic Church, and Cayon close to Maynard Park, to name a few. Not to mention roads in Pond Site, in the Bird Rock area, and other parts of the island. A major project is required island-wide to prepare the place for the next 50 to 100 years so that we can be truly sustainable and live good, positive, functional lives. Good money thrown away and stolen, misused, misdirected. Money that could have been used to protect and preserve our eroding coastline and to protect our reefs and our topsoil. Money that could ensure a world-class health system that would help to jumpstart a national health scheme that would establish up-to-date educational and national security facilities that would be in our system to finance housing, commercial and industrial activity, maintain and upgrade and keep in an effective state of repair and relevance our country's physical and social infrastructure. Money that would enter the system and become available for our people to invest in the tech industry, in research and development, manufacturing and processing, entertainment, sport, tourism, the arts, travel, and so forth. And while I think of these things and I become angry at the villains for what they've done, and while I expect that they will and must face justice, I'm also aware that the resources to get us where we need to be have to be found. And I'm determined, and I have the faith that they will be found to deliver all of these necessities so that we can and will become a truly sustainable island state. Remember, I'm an optimist, and failure and destruction are not an option. We have to achieve. We have to become a truly sustainable island state. And whatever impediments there have been and are, we have to deal with them in whatever form that they present themselves to us. While the vagabonds enrich themselves, they set us back in our quest to become a sustainable island state. They betrayed and obstructed us in our quest to achieve our destiny. And they would never have gotten away with it had our public service been efficient, professional, and uncompromised. Never. All of this only means that we and our well-meaning politicians and other leaders have to be more focused, more disciplined, more mature, and more responsible. And we have to become unified in our quest to attain sustainable island status. The money, the other resources, and the will to get us there are vitally necessary. And we will find those things. Many of us already have the will, and we must lift others who don't, because without the will we fail, and we cannot justify that to the ancestors and to generations to come. And we will get there on the wings of an efficient, professional, and uncontaminated public service. So if the horse is indeed dead, we simply have to do what Jesus did with Lazarus: bring the horse back to life. Our faith and our works and our hope for and our commitment to the very best for our children and grandchildren will get us there. Thank you.
Yes, and that's the sound of the man G.A. Dwyer Asaan giving his views and the abuse of public funds by the former administration, and have us in a quandary right about now. And this, the eve of our Easter weekend, you know, when I listen to these vagabonds, whatever you want to pronounce it as, these bad boys from the former Team Unity administration, the construct, as they call it. Remember, it was 3 parties combined that construct, you know. The former Prime Minister, Timothy Harris, he headed the People's Labour Party, that's the PLP. Sean K. Richards, who was the Deputy Prime Minister, he heads the People's Action Movement, PAM. And the current local island administration, their neighbors, the CCM, led by Premier Brantley, who is now the leader in the opposition in the federal cabinet. All those 3 folks, you know what you want to call them, but the 3 parties form that administration and have us in a quandary, as the man G.A. Dwyer Asaan just explained to us. But if you listen to them speaking in Parliament, they want us to forget all the damage that was done from 2015 to 2022 by this Team Unity administration. What they're asking us to do is to throw water upon that. So let's take a quick listen from my boy here, the late great Lord Anything, as he present his tune, throw water upon that.
Life in this country just ain't no fun. One stop in the shop, all your money done. Everyday inflation escalating. The treasury broke, the economy collapsing. At night you afraid, don't want to sleep hard. For thieves and vagabonds roam in your backyard, while unconscionable elites bank books getting fat. Then you cry, is throw water upon that. Some collecting thousands of taxpayers' money, yet they pay no money to the government treasury. And they tell me, do not sing about that, throw water upon that. Hoteliers are not paying the accommodation tax, while the tax collectors relaxing, ignoring that. And they tell me, do not sing about that, throw water upon that. In an era of globalization, we preaching secession. Power-hungry politicians want to separate the federation. Still they tell me, do not sing about that, throw water upon that. Things happening daily, and even blind men could see. We in a stew while some weeping big bounty. So bloody horns.
So let's do it loud anytime. This one is called Throw Water Upon That.
Alabadunda. Living it. Ay, ay, oh. Since we afraid to offend and see and don't see, people getting away, swindling government money. And when we privatize anything you hear, them same fellas buying most of the shares. They undermine every contractor while taking kickbacks from the investor. And as tradesmen sit down, got nothing to do, the same vagabonds selling out me and you. They on the boats collecting plenty big dollars, yet they owe the government up to 6 figures. And telling me, do not sing about that, throw water upon that. Love is social security money, like it come from a money tree, while the old people pension run over by inflation. Still they tell me, do not sing about that, throw water upon that. Some grabbing at everything they could put their hands upon, while the state of this country continues falling down. And they tell me, do not sing about that, throw water upon that. Things happening daily, and even blind men could see. They're ripping the gall out of this country. The bloody horns. Mama yo yai. Morning and good night is a pastime thing. Everybody passing, each other phoning, hustling for a second job to make ends meet. Every day you see more vendors on the streets. And while some mama guy the economy, our best brains migrating from the country, while the unemployed on the block cursing. Our youth every day in school fighting. Some firing gunshots like we live in the wild, wild west. Our peace and tranquility is under serious threat. And they tell me, do not sing about that, throw water upon that. The house in a uproar, the ministers want to fight while this country facing such a serious plight, and they tell me, do not sing about that, show water upon that. And while Kim promoting this country all over, petitions and divisions still can't live together. Still they tell me, do not sing about that, show water upon that. Things happening daily, and even blind men could see. We in us true while some weeping big bounty. So bloody heart, mama yo yai. Come down mustache.
Yes, that sound of the late great, the Lord Anything, and that one is called Chawata Panda. And this is a problem I have with our people in our beloved Federation of St. Kitts Neighbors. I have taken a vow that no one gonna get me into no worry over politics. We are not gonna speak to someone or whatever over politics. I will say my piece, and as I've said to the Prime Minister time and time again, when I come here on a Wednesday evening, I am speaking from experience, what I observe in the various communities, having conversation with you, the general public, and basically, is you the general public elect them in. So whatever you guys are discussing, I have no problem processing it and see what makes sense and what don't. Because I'll be honest with you, my good people, over the past couple of weeks, I have been going to the various communities, having a drink, talking with some folks, and some people are just unreasonable and beyond a conversation. Because I had some conversation over the weekend in Nevis, and to be honest with you, I did not want to insult some of the individuals by telling them I don't want to hear what they're saying, because it would only leave a bad impression on them. And at the same time, could create more strife than anything else. But when you look at adults, grown adults dress up nice, look good, supposed to look sensible, having some childish discussion, some childish behaviors, it really make me wonder, which individual really would want to go out there to say you're going to represent these folks as a politician? I hear the talk about politicians taking ways for themselves, you know. When I really look at and listen to the mindset and our culture, the way the people think, these politicians in St. Kitts Nevis, they're not making enough, you know, they're not being paid enough to listen to all that crap. When you sit down and listen to some of these folks on the street, and these are folks that's supposed to have common sense, that's supposed to be educated. Some of them have all of these degrees. But I think the degrees in the head is the heat in the brain that make them so selfish, because no matter how much they have, they want more. And according to them, the Prime Minister supposed to give it to them. They're not supposed to go out and help themselves. You know, and I had a conversation last Tuesday afternoon with a young man over there in the Port Sante area. And the conversation did not add up. He was making the point that he wants work and can't get work. And the paid job that he should get, the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, and Congress Maynard and whoever else up at the JNF in the lobby, painting the lobby, when that should be his job. He should get that job. And I'm trying to explain to the gentleman that picture up that you see with the Prime Minister and the Honorable Congress Maynard and whoever is up there doing their thing. The Prime Minister did not take away your job as a painter. Congress Maynard did not take away your job as a painter. There was a community effort to give a facelift to the lobby there, to the front of the JNF. There's a couple of non-government agencies involved in sponsoring this effort. And basically, those guys went in to show appreciation and support to the people that have made this generous offer. So for you to think that the Prime Minister and the Minister of Works went to paint the hospitals and get a job, that doesn't make sense. And he go on and on and on. And I ask him a simple question, you know. You say you are a contractor, you're a painter. Have you provided your information to the administration at the JNF so that when there are jobs that comes up, you could be invited to be one of the persons to bid on this job? Tell me no. He don't need to do that. He shouldn't have to do that. People at the hospital and administration know what he's capable of, and they should call him. And this is the sick mentality of some of our people. They want to sit home on their stoop, or they want to sit on the sidewalk and don't do anything for themselves. But the Prime Minister, the AG, and everyone else in Parliament, our cabinet, and DJ Marisha, we're supposed to know that you're a painter, you're a carpenter. So we should pick up the phone and call you and let you know there's a job available if you want to be that. My good people, more and more I spend time here in our beloved Federation. More and more I feel sorry for our people because I know we are better than this. And for the former administration who tried to change the people of St. Kitts Nevis to what we were, hard-working citizens who is always willing to help our neighbors, our brothers and sisters. Back in the days when it took a village to raise a child, to pay for all kind of nonsense. And while you give them a couple of $100, you take millions for yourself, and they could not see that. It's like in the days when you go to church and you put the money in the collection box, and they tell you to close your eyes to pray for the money that was contributed, and somebody take out the money out of the box, put it in the pocket. When you open your eyes, the money gone. This is the kind of game the former administration was playing. Well, they're giving you a little bit with the left hand, the right hand is taking more. And a lot of these individuals that are out there on social media, cussing and pounding the former Prime Minister Dr. Douglas and now the present Labour administration for not doing enough for them. The reality is a lot of them, they just want to sit back and get a pay. The pap and the pep and the pay for peace and all of this nonsense, which is not sustainable. How did we come to this? Very simple. You got a gentleman by the name of Timothy Sylvester Harris and his goons that created this kind of life for the people of St. Kitts Nevis. And it's really sad. For me, it's a sad state of affairs to see our young, strong men and women who can work, who have the talent and the skills to get stuff done. They don't think they need to work because the government should be paying them this and should be paying them that. I see individuals out there who are disabled. You could see they had some kind of illness, whether it might be a stroke or whatever, they were carrying a cane, dialysis patients, whatever, who need the government help more than these strong individuals who want to sit home and get money. And when you go across to the Nevis end, just the same. I listened to the conversation with the division that Prime Minister should just send money across there. No question asked. St. Kitts have enough, just send whatever. Any money coming, send across. But I understand there was some agreement in the Constitution that all of the taxes should be pooled into the fund and Nevis get their share and St. Kitts get their share. But we all know what happened during the time of the big hotel across there, Four Seasons. The former premier and his colleagues decide they're not sending any money to St. Kitts. They want to run their own affairs. When now the money run out, it well dry up over there. St. Kitts is supposed to sustain them. right? And I really pray for the day that our people of St. Kitts and Nevis look at life from a different view. Look at it in a holistic situation that we are one, Kittish and Nevision, we are one. And instead of sitting back and looking what people have, be a part of the process, be a part of the development. You plant the seed together, the seed will mature and come to the point where everybody can benefit from that seed. But to sit back, relax, and say you don't care, whatever happened, happened, and then you want to benefit from that fruit tree, that's not right. And I have taken the approach that, you know what, why fight the horse that you lead to the water that decide not to drink? Leave it. Hopefully, and I hope it never have to come to that point where the horse have to drop dead because he saw the water and didn't want to drink it. But I will continue to present the opportunities and the offers to my community, colleagues, friends, potential friends, whatever, in whatever capacity I can. I will continue to do the good I can do, and help as much people that I can. Let me say good evening here to Mallow Farms. How are you doing? Good evening. My partner there, Ambassador Ian M. Queely over there in the Morocco area. How are you doing, my brother? Elizabeth Zakers, my boy there, George Nisbet, somewhere around the globe, only God knows where he is. Brother Cecil Watson, how are you doing? How are you doing? Everything good? Curtis Cook, my boy there, Ivor W.A. Henry. That's one of my partners. I have to get him into my classes and try to bring him back to reality, because I think he's someplace drinking some kind of water there. Macklin Hobson, good evening. How are you doing? Brother Alvin Brown, Alvin Ellie, Deecher Smith Farrell, how are you doing? Welcome to the ride. Sister Brown, welcome to the ride. Esther Idita Markman, how are you doing? How is the weather there in the UK? What time is it there in the UK? Brother Romello Jeffers, good evening. Welcome to the ride. Sandra Thompson, Judith Queely, Naomi Ward Batcher, how are you doing? Carmen Henry, welcome to the ride. Thanks for lunch today. Yes, I definitely got my lunch today from you. You was not there when I picked up my lunch. And folks, don't forget Sister Carmen Henry, that Carmen Catering there, that provides lunches down there across from the ferry terminal there in Bastille, Monday to Friday. You check it anytime after midday, you get some good lunch. Today I had some lovely breaded chicken. Yesterday I had some lovely ribs, very lovely, lovely food. Well, she said she's going to be open in Boyd's Friday. So come out and get your dumplings and saltfish. That this coming Friday there at the bus stop in Boyd's, right on the hill across from the Ogaro shop. Check out Sister Carmen Henry there. You'll get your dumpling and saltfish there in the Boyd's area. Good evening, Santel Books. Brother Mukesh Posad, how are you doing, brother? Everything good? Hope all is well. Celine or something else. I want to play the song again. Huh? Linda Clark, how are you doing? Good evening. Yes, Desmond Claxton, I heard you say that my fish I had on Saturday, that's the fish your father used to, size fish your father used to use for bait. I thought your father was a Calypsonian. I did not know. I did not know that your father was a fisherman. Yes, you know. The thing about it is, I went up to the St. Peter's area today to meet with our Prime Minister. So I take a stop across there in St. Peter's. And my partner, Brother Warner, invited me in for a drink in an establishment. And just from the accent, you could see it's Jamaican. There's so many foreigners on the island that are working, that are very courteous, that are very friendly. They know how to talk to people. They're enjoying the island, while our local people, the way they talk to you is like, you should not be here. You know. Good evening, brother Kevin Hanley. Good evening, Sister Dawati Allen. You know, we have to change our attitude and adjust. You know, we need a serious attitude adjustment. And I'm talking about from the top down. I speak to people, I know of them, I see them from a distance, and I figure, well, good stand-up citizens, you know, they are established and whatever. And you have a conversation with them, and I regret having a conversation because what comes out of their mouth, the nonsense, the disrespect for women, the way women disrespect men in our beloved federation, you know, and then you will find they start to curse each other and say, man no good, woman this, and it should not be that way. The transactional arrangement, the transactional relationship, this is what I think we got from 2015 to 2022, you know, because I never seen this kind of behavior before. Have never seen the behavior I'm seeing today. The way that people expect to sit back and just collect, you know. Last week, I think it was Wednesday, I got a call from Beavis, from a gentleman. And he said to me, boy, Marisha, the Prime Minister just called your name on Freedom FM and thank you for your input at the JNF Hospital and whatever. I said, well, I am not listening to any radio at the moment, but if the Prime Minister called my name, it's really good to know that as busy as our Prime Minister is, he has the mindset to remember DJ Marisha. So I thank him for that. But so many people call me and they're saying the Prime Minister called your name on Freedom FM, thanking you for your input at the JNF. But they're not talking about the real deal why the Prime Minister had to call my name, you know. And I went back and I listened to the program. And thanks to my technician there, my nephew, Brother Glenville Lawrence, doing a very good job at editing my clips for this program weekly. And I asked him to cut this clip because I am happy to know that we got citizens within the Federation or in the diaspora, whether regionally or not, that are paying attention. You listen to Ian Patches Library, week in, week out, cussing the healthcare system and St. Kitts Nevis, cussing the Prime Minister, cussing the Labour administration. You hear the former Prime Minister, all them get up. You heard Wendy Phipps, who was the Minister of Health, have all kind of things to say about the healthcare system. And I keep saying week after week, the reason why these individuals can prosecute the case so well is because they knew what they left in 2022. Then between the period of 2015 and 2022, they know what they left. They ignore the healthcare system. Little and no, too many investment went into the healthcare system. And I've heard about the leaks at the JNF. I have seen on social media when they were in fall, how the workers have to be bringing in pails and mop buckets and pushing water out of the area and all this kind of stuff. It looked bad. And when the Prime Minister and I spoke and he invited me to be a part of the accreditation team for the JNF, there was a lot of misleading information out there on social media. I did not say anything at the time because the honest truth is, knowing our culture, knowing our people, I know what they would say. DJ Marisha was one of the leading persons campaigning against the former administration. And I wasn't campaigning for a job in St. Kitts. I had no intention at the time to be in St. Kitts doing anything. I just had to get rid of that former hag because of the way he treated the people of the Federation during the period of COVID. I got it full blast because I came in when the borders opened on the very first flight. I knew what I experienced, locking down in quarantine unnecessarily. the mistreatment I got from the healthcare system. And I decided that based on the people that choose to encourage me to accept the Prime Minister's invitation to be a part of the system to help clean up the JNF, I came in with an open mind, not to stay, to see what I can do to help. And when I came in on I think it was the 13th or 14th of September, I think I came in on the 13th and I met with the DHI the next day or 2 days later, whatever, and do a walkthrough. And I realized the issues at the JNF, with all the problems they have at the JNF, that you hear them banging them out on social media. You know, it's not a hard fix. Yes, it's going to take some time. Yes, it's going to take some money and a little inconvenience. But structurally and operation-wise, it's an easy fix. It's not big thing to do. And I decided to do what I can. And all I was hearing from the administration at the time up there, you know, is about the, I even hate to use this word, the procurement process. All you hear about the procurement process, the process. This process is so flawed that if you want to move a chair from the lobby of the hospital to the back by the kitchen, it might take you a year because the paperwork and the process to move that chair before somebody could authorize it to move is crazy. That is what it was. And for the couple of weeks I was there and observing situation and speaking to the people that I need to speak to. And I'm hearing the same story, the process. Mr. Mauritia, the process. And you know, I got to the point and I said, you know what? I need to speak to Prime Minister Joe. He is the Minister of Health. And I spoke to the DHI and asked for permission to speak to the Prime Minister. And he gave me the okay. He said, Mr. Mauritia, whatever it takes to get the job done, that's all I care about. You do what you have to do. And I will continue to give credit to Prime Minister Joe. Because when I spoke to Prime Minister Joe, and I messaged him that, because sometimes you speak to people that are not hearing you, but if you write something, they might read it and understand what you're saying. So in following up to the conversation with Prime Minister Joe, I messaged him WhatsApp. And I point out to Prime Minister Joe. I said, no matter what you guys trying to do here at the JNF, accreditation or not, you cannot accredit something that is not functioning. Every time a shower of rain fall for 5 minutes, the pails and the buckets and the sandbag and the brooms come out. You cannot have a place accredited like this. The patients, the staff, this is not a good condition for them to be working in. And then I am being told by the staff that this thing been going on for years. Water coming down like this for years. And I could remember that afternoon, I received a call from Prime Minister and he said, Jeffrey, I'm sending a team across to the JNF to meet with you the next day. Let them know what needs to get done. And the team came and they met with me. And my good people, I never said this before, but I am of the view that there's people at that hospital that is undermining the Prime Minister, you know. I am convinced, I have put in the time, I have put in the investigation. There are people at that hospital that is trying to undermine the Prime Minister, but they're not doing the Prime Minister anything. They're hurting themselves and the workers and the integrity of the hospital. Because when that team came to do the walkthrough with Mr. Mauritia, you know, a ladder that I was using for days to go up on the roof and check the areas where we were leaking, the ladder could not be found. Nobody could tell me where the ladder was. So I could not get access to the roofs. And this is an inside job. This was an inside job within the maintenance department because they feel that they've been there, not been successful. So who am I to come and make things happen? So that was the first setback. And giving credit to those Taiwanese, giving credit to them. They say, Mr. Mauritia, don't worry, we'll come back tomorrow with our gear and do what we have to do. And they came back the next day with their gear. They didn't have to borrow a ladder from anyone. They went and they measured every roof. And when they finish, I said to them, now you have the information that you need. Yes. What I need to know is the timeline to get the material, because this material is not in St. Kitts. They have to come from overseas, whether China, Taiwan, wherever, have to come from overseas. And they told me 2 months. Now, this was in October. And October, November, somewhere around there. I already looked at December dead and January dead. So I was looking for the work to get done in February, when everything come in by February, knowing that the backup in shipping from those areas to the Caribbean and whatever. But to my surprise, the supplies came in within the time period that they gave me. And the war got started. And I could sit here today, my good people of St. Kitts Nevis. I could sit here today and say to you all, if you all don't want to give the Prime Minister credit for anything else, give the Prime Minister credit that every one of those roofs, from the medical ward to the surgical ward to the main hospital, even in the site building, those gentlemen within the last couple of weeks have dealt with the roofs. The last couple of days, the last couple of weeks, we have been pouring rain. And I have walked the floors, getting the input of the various staff. Just as they used to tell me, this place leaking, that place leaking. They are telling me today, Mr. Mauritia, thanks for everything that you guys did. I do not know how you all did it, but not a drop of water coming on the inside. Give credit to the Prime Minister. Give credit to the new administration, because he cannot do it by himself. In order for the Prime Minister to get a lot of things done, he must get support from his colleagues. Give credit to the DHI. Give credit to the workers at the JNF on a whole, because everybody contributed to the effort. Do you have some bad apples in between? And the majority, the doctors, the nurses, the maintenance staff, the cleaners, everybody contribute in some way. But you have the one or two bad apple that is still, in my view, undermining the process, undermining the Prime Minister. Well, you see, DJ Mauritia is the type of person. I didn't give myself the talent that I have. God gave it to me, and my grandparents. They wasn't easy with me, so they prepared me for stuff like this. So when I am tasked to doing something, when someone trying to undermine this DJ, I'm 20 miles ahead. Where they're trying to undermine, I don't pass their lamp. They're looking for me down the corner by Richard Shop, I don't run in Newton Ground Line. You understand? So I'm going to play this clip, because this caller called in and spoke about the hospital roof. And I could back up what the Prime Minister is saying and say to you, the people at home and abroad, that those leaks, if rain fall tomorrow morning at the JNF and water come to those roofs, is something new. Up to yesterday, I walked every ward, every part of that institution and speak to the various people. And they are so happy. And mind you, I get some good cussing last year from some of them, especially those supporters of the opposition. They say all kind of people come through here with all kind of pad and pen, taking all kind of notes, and nothing happened over the years. Nothing gonna change. The water gonna continue coming in. The Prime Minister, you know what he's doing. What kind of Prime Minister he is. But I can say to you, he's a Prime Minister that is caring. He's a Prime Minister that have a lot of guts. Because so far, everything that Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, have told me he's gonna do, he have done it. Some of them thought by now I would have leave and gone back because I would not get nothing done. But I made myself a promise. I made the Prime Minister a promise And I promised myself to the Almighty that with the health and strength of his wishes, I will leave when the Prime Minister said to me, Mr. Mawisha, I had enough of your service, time to go. Or the Almighty tell me it's time to go. So all of you out there that is trying to put anything in my way to stumble, can't happen. I play cricket. I play hardball. I run and I jump. So let's take a quick listen to this clip.
The next thing, PM, finally, too, in terms of the hospital roof, what is the position on that? And that is where sometime early up in your government, in your term, or let me say the first year, I keep stressing on somebody has to go jail. Somebody has to go jail for wasting government money, because you see, hear this now, Development Bank right now was in a mess. We don't know what's going on with that as yet. Then on the other hand, you hear the amount of surplus we get back then in the former administration, and yet still our roof of the hospital, you realize is you getting all the word them for anything happen right now in France?
Yeah.
You getting the word, you know? And you realize what happened for all the surplus they say they make. Nobody touch on the health system.
No.
Come on, man. To be honest, I believe the time has come, PM, for you all to go in the house and to pass some laws that if you mess up government money, whether gratuity or whatever was supposed to come to you, you lose it. Because I believe you all have to be more serious with this. Because people taking up government money and thinking, well, it's the one and they could do what they want and do all kind of bubble and all kind of thing. The time has come for whether politicians get caught in it or ordinary. I want to see somebody held accountable for the money, because what happened at the end of the day is we got to pay it back. I thank you.
Thank you. Right. The caller made a fundamental point. You were claiming this and that, and nobody recognized that the development bank was running down into the dirt. It was being hidden. People suspected, but the reason why they weren't doing any audit is because they didn't want to record any record of what they were doing at the development bank. It's egregious, and the caller is correct.
Somebody asked who got in jail.
Well, you know, there's a case coming up. There's a case coming up. And I don't want to prejudice the case.
Right.
That is why I don't say a lot of things on it, right?
Right.
With respect to the health sector, we have made significant strides in the health sector. But the health sector had very little significant investments. We had a national by the name of Mr. Leo Estridge, who saw that we needed help at the dialysis unit. The government cannot do it alone. The government needs help from the people here and abroad. He has excellent connections. He is well advanced in his career, well respected, reached out to our people here in St. Kitts and Nevis, along with Mr. Payne, St. John Payne's son. The person who acted directly on it was advisor Mr. Edinburgh. Between them and the Ministry of Health and so forth, we put the program together to get all these dialysis machines in. We did not only get the machines in, he brought in a specialist team of technicians who did a course, a workshop at the hospital to teach our people how to use the machines. And then you hear politicians criticizing that and trying to drag such an esteemed national's name through the mud. How can we expect other people to want to come quickly forward in order to contribute to our national development, in this case, the health sector? We have invested tremendously. MRI, CT scan, all these things they talk about, but nothing was coming to fruition. EK. Nurses to get opportunities to specialize, more opportunities for nurses in the hospital to advance, eliminate the nurses from having to register every year, now every 2 years. The most specialists ever on the caller made the point that we need our more of our local specialists. A lot of our people who go away and specialize, they stay away. Dr. Mark is here with his wife, and I want to thank them. We also have Dr. Amory from the US who comes in and helps us tremendously with our endoscopies and so forth. I want to thank Dr. Ward, who returned home, an anesthesiologist. So we have three anesthesiologists at the hospital now, with an anesthesiology nurse. And we just bought new equipment for the anesthesia, for the theater. Significant improvement. The roof being fixed to end the leaking that the caller spoke about. We have invested significantly. I want to thank the cable, TDC, Berger, and all those who are responsible now for the refurbishing of our foyer or the entrance into the hospital. Significant investments in human resource development. I want to thank Mr. Curtis Martin, Honorable I call him, because he was the former speaker, for his work in what I call human capacity development and the training he's been doing. I want to thank Dr. Patrick Martin, Dr. Hanley, and so forth, who have been involved in the advancement of our hospital. DJ Maui Show also for his input.
So there goes. The Prime Minister said a mouthful. But the reality of the day, like I said before, is that the issue of the problem at the hospital, it's really nothing new. It's not something that happened under the present administration. This is something that they inherited. And we got to give credit to Prime Minister Joe to arrest the leaking issue. I'll tell you something more. And I would hope that the Prime Minister don't hold this against me, but I have to say it. The very first day I started at the JNF, the very first day, it was no rain any place. So I did not need to worry about rain. I decided my first mission was to take a stroll of the roof, because I see the marks from the inside. I get the complaint from the nurses and the users at the hospital. So I decided to go up and see the condition of the roof. And the very first thing I pick up on the roof, I have the video, I have the pictures. I sent it to the Prime Minister. He should have them. The DHI, they should have them. What I found was an area where one of the hot water tank, the hot water pipe side is broken out, and water is continuously running on the roof. It was this black mass, more than a 6 to 8 foot span of mass. So, you know, for mass to be that much and that thick, it had to be running for more than a year. The water had to be running out of that tank for more than a year. And I want to know, for the users of the faucets below, did not somebody realize that there's no hot water in the faucets? For the maintenance staff or the maintenance manager that's supposed to be supervising the staff, nobody realized that there was no hot water in these faucets on the wall. When I took the maintenance manager on the roof and I showed him, he was shocked. I asked him, you guys don't come on the roof and check? He said, no, they've never been up there. I explained to him. I said, in New York, where I work at the hospital, the buildings that we have, some is 12 feet tall. When I said 12 feet, 12 storage, I'm sorry. 12 storage, 18 storage, 20 storage high. But every morning, before I go and sit in my office, I go up to the top of the buildings. I circulate the buildings and I walk down on every floor and say good morning to everybody, make sure everything is okay before I get into my office. And since I am here at the JNF, anyone can tell you, when they describe me at the JNF, they describe me as the gentleman that walk around and take pictures. And I laugh. Because some people think I might have been taking pictures for social media, but no. The pictures are to show what was there before and the improvement that is made. The pictures are also to show what is safe and what is unsafe, what not to do in training the staff in doing the right thing. And there's a lot of things that the staff are doing wrong, maybe not being exposed to proper safety procedures in an institution. Some people, I guess, might have been hired in the area and never done this kind of work before. And people might not realize it, you know. It takes a particular person with the knowledge and the skill and the interest to be capable to do facility management. And everybody could supervise when it comes to an institution, a health institution. Facility management take a certain skill, a certain interest, and not knocking myself on my shoulder. Maybe I should. But until I got there, I did not see that kind of talent there. And even while I'm there now, I don't see that kind of talent. So I would encourage the Prime Minister and the powers that be to train people in this regard, to have the knowledge and the interest in facility management. I do not know how long I'll be around. I do not know what plans God have for me. I do not know what plans the Prime Minister have for me. So I do not know how long I will be around. But you need to have people that have that interest and that skill to see wrong, because two people could be looking at the same thing and see two different complete things. The proper procedures to put away waste, whether it's hazardous waste or regular waste. You have to do things right in a health institution, because if you don't, your whole institution and maybe the community will get sick. I can recall while I was at the Royal St. Kitts during quarantine, and I look at how things was being done. And nightly, I would speak on my podcast about it's only a matter of time before COVID end up in our community. If they continue down that road, we're going to have a community spread. And what you heard from people like Mark Brantley, the then foreign minister, ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. That is what Premier Brantley was saying to the people at the time. Abdel Samuels, who was then the task force director, whatever his name was, whatever his position was, he come on his horn every Wednesday afternoon, say, ignore the fake news. Now listen to them. We give you the real news. When they were the one, government offices, government official was presenting fake news to you, the people, while DJ Marisha was trying to bring the real deal. And what I get was a pushback and a fight back from them. Dr. Wilkinson and I used to communicate, and to his credit, he always said to me, he understands what I'm saying, but there was no but to it. Dr. Laws never follow up with a conversation with me. You know? They locked me down in quarantine and leave me there for 14 days without coming to him, find out what's going on with me. It was a money-making thing. It wasn't about healthcare. And I said that to explain this. I decided, in spite of all the costs I get from a lot of them new labor all of a sudden, you see all of them now that fighting the Prime Minister to take pictures, for picture up with the Prime Minister. When I was fighting for you, the people, and for the safety of our nation, to take it from under the hands of Timothy Harris, the Prime Minister that had 3 of our citizens. He was the Minister of National Security. He was the Prime Minister. 3 of our citizens got arrested for holding up placards. Many of our citizens get tear gas under Prime Minister Harris. So I hold him responsible. And while I was out there fighting for these people, we got some of them up there with their big house and their social media page, cussing the DJ, saying the DJ mashing up the country. Still to the people in place where you're going on there for. My boy over there in England too, you know, Chris Collins. Tell them I ain't forget them. All of them cussing the DJ. What he going down there for? But today, when the Prime Minister appear in the place, they're up front and center to take the pictures in. But they couldn't fight for you, the people, back then. Right? DJ Marisha came back to St. Kitts 6 months after the knockabout he get, you know. And this time, because of what my reporting was from the Royal St. Kitts, not even a phone call they took from me. They did not want me back at the Royal St. Kitts because they did not want no more exposure with the wrongs that they were doing there. I end up over at the Owali, thanks to my girl, their sister Faith and John and the crew at the Owali Resort. And it happens so that while I'm at the Owali Resort, you know, that day came in, I was fully vaccinated at the time on my second trip. They had their laws that if you're fully vaccinated, you stay 9 days in quarantine. That's what they told me at the RLB. But by the time I got to Nevis, they're telling me I have to stay 14 days. An individual that came into the Federation that was tested negative 72 hours before arrival had to stay in quarantine for 14 days. However, one of their big friends who came in from Argentina, who apparently was not tested, just like many others that was allowed to travel to the Federation without that test, came in here with full-blown COVID and caused a community spread. Came in one day after the DJ. The DJ came in on the Saturday, that individual came in on the Sunday. And in less than 24 hours, that individual was allowed to mingle within the community and cause a community spread. When the DJ came in that Saturday, there was no cases, no positive cases pending in the Federation, no deaths. Everything was under control. In quick time, it went up to hundreds. Deaths and everything else. My boy, the Ricky Baswo, and them, I remember the sister apparently went to do a surgery. They said she was fully vaccinated. They said she ain't had no COVID. But according to the report in the end, she was positive when she died. Many people who was labeled positive, nobody sure they were positive. Because I asked the question, you know, how did you test the dead body, the corpse, to prove that they died from COVID? Were they doing that at the time in St. Kitts Nevis? I don't think so. But I am thanking God, and I will continue to thank God to give me the strength and the will to fight your bad-minded Kittitian and divisions out there who took to social media and tried to destroy my integrity for money and for politics. Because many of you that tried to destroy my integrity and my dignity, I mean, do you all nothing, you know? You all wanted to keep a team unity administration together. And I decided then, if it kills me, Timothy had to go. As a matter of fact, my first campaign when I started, you know, I did my demonstration in Manhattan. My boy Patches would not take my call, did not show up to talk to me. My second demonstration was in St. Kitts. They denied my permit to march with 100 people, while they got more than 100 people jumping up in a community room in a large village. A dominant event, the Prime Minister was having. So DJ Maurish had to end up march by himself to Bastille. And I did that because I wanted them to do something about me cannot walk in the street of Bastille. A week later, I applied for permit to march again with 100 people. What do you think they did? I applied on a Monday. They called me on a Tuesday night. The march should be on Thursday. They called me on Tuesday night, Tuesday afternoon, tell me that the commissioner, the then commissioner of police, want to meet with me Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock. I was there at 7:45. I always early. When I get here, they said the commissioner said he had a double booking. He did not know. He had something else to do, which I know he did. He didn't want to meet with me. It's just to frustrate the situation and to frustrate me, but they couldn't stop me. I was determined to bring the information to you, the people. So the deputy commissioner, or the assistant commissioner, whatever they call them, decided to interview me. And what the problem was, Their problem was that the route that I put on my marching route, that I was passing in front of the police station in Bastille, and I was passing in front of government headquarters, and that is not allowed. I said, okay, cool. That is the problem. Change it. And the individual is telling me that I must submit a new route. I said, no. I submit the route that I want to march. If you want me to march someplace different, you change it. Tell me where I could walk. I want to march. I want to bring awareness to the people. So you tell me where you want me to march. And we sat down there and he WhatsApp and make the changes and send it back to me. He said, that is good. I said, yes. His words to me was, in principle, your march is approved for tomorrow, which is Thursday. This is Wednesday morning, you know. Your march, in principle, is approved for tomorrow from 3 to 6. Now, I left from the police station. I head down to Freedom FM, spoke with Juni, the big JL, and I explained to him that I got approval for the march, so I'll be doing the march. Can I have it? I need to get a jingle done that I could play on my program the Wednesday night. He asked Jamie to assist me. And Jamie hooked me up good, did my jingle. I left. Juni played it on his station. The Wednesday night, I played it on my program, letting the people know that we're going to march. By the time I signed off that Wednesday night, I got a call from the same deputy commissioner telling me, Mr. Mawisha, we got a problem. I said, what is the problem? Well, somebody called and said that he was advertising the event for the march tomorrow, and it was not approved by the commissioner. I said, yeah, we don't have a problem, you know. We're between a rock and a hard place. Because the conversation you said to me, in principle, the issue was that I should not be marching in front of the police station and the government headquarters. That matter was resolved. So where I am concerned, the commissioner don't have a problem here with me. Now, you all have a problem. Because I already tell the people on my program tonight that I'm marching. So I cannot go back and tell them I'm not marching because I signed off already. I'll be marching. I don't know who will show up, but I'll be marching. Tell me, okay, let's sleep on it, and in the morning we'll discuss it. I did get a call in the morning, and his words to me were, Mr. Mawisha, well, I spoke to the commissioner, and right now the situation is, it will be easier for you to march than not to march. You're going to create a chaos. I said, well, it's up to you guys. In a few minutes later, after his call, I got a call, tell me, Mr. Mawisha, make sure you get that conversation in writing. I called back and I requested it in writing. And I did get it in writing. I said all of this to say this, my good people of St. Kitts and Nevis. No government supposed to be dictating to you, the people, about your rights. You let them to do a job. You have to ensure that they do what they was elected to do. There are laws you got to follow, yes. But they work for you. You got to guide what you want. Stop being lazy, sitting down on the side and expect everybody to do things for you. You got to do your part. DJ Mawisha is right now, I'm overworked, I'm stressed out, I'm tired, I'm finished. I need you all to step up to the plate and pick up the baton and do your part. Do not follow the former administration and them out there trying to label this new Labour administration of some villain and doing the bad things that they were doing. That's what they was doing. That's not what this administration is doing. This administration is working for you, the people. Look at what has been accomplished in the less than 2 years of this administration. Look at the damage that was done between 2015 and 2022, 7.5 years. That's what you guys need to do. And I want Ivor to know, you know, I'm not staying here in the overtime tonight. Ivor, I come to you tonight to just give some quick updates, get your input, wish you guys a happy Easter when it comes, and let us be safe. Let us have a weekend that is crime-free. I don't want to hear about any accidents happening here or there because people get drunk and drive like, and no gunfiring and all this kind of stuff. Let's have a good Easter weekend. That's what I'm asking for, my good people. And on Friday, we're going to have an event there in Newton Ground. And I am so looking forward to that event. I know my better judgment should be not to be playing any cricket, because I think many of you might have known my situation with my foot recently. But we're going to be having an event in honor of a gentleman. It's Leighton Garpey Skip Williams Legacy Fund Day. That's Friday, 29th of March. It's going to be over there at the Breeze Park in Newton Grove. And I would have to run up and bowl a few balls for Skip, because Skip has contributed so much for this in the field of sport, not just cricket, but soccer and everything else. Whenever my team come to St. Kitts on tour, Skip makes sure the cricket is prepared and roll. So we'll be there from 10 o'clock in the morning, getting our things going, setting up and everything. We know much cannot get done until after midday because of the laws of St. Kitts and Nevis. But we're going to be there. We're going to have a good time. And the entertainment is going to be by Firehouse Sound, DJ Sugar Bowl, Small Axe Band International. It's going to be lots of fun. Eat and drinks, bounce castle, dominoes, football, the T20 cricket competition, the tug of war, lots of prizes to win. Okay, cash prizes, giveaways, and stuff. And I want to thank guys like Leron McIntosh, the man there, my brother Hazel there, Elvis Hazel, for the contribution to this regard, trying to put things together. And I'm happy to work with you guys in honor of Brother Garpey. So that's this coming Friday down there at Breeze Park in Newton Ground. Let's have a good, fun day, crime-free. Let's have a good time. I also want to, let me drop this ad quick before I get too late, because I believe that Ivor is playing game and expect me to run overtime. And I don't want to run out of here without dropping this ad for Carbo and Carmen. So stand by for this Carbo's ad.
Carbo's, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treats. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Carbo's Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Carbo's Fungi and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Carbo's and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Carbo's, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Food all over, food all over, you got the food all over.
Yes, that's the man there, the big Carbo over there in Fountain. I enjoyed that Fungi and Fish day on Saturday. This Saturday, as a matter of fact, is the celebration of Brother Paddy. His brother that used to run that place there in Nevis over there in Fountain is passing this weekend. This Saturday, they'll be celebrating. I'm really thinking about going across the Carbo to check you, but I also have an event here at Deep Bay in St. Kitts. There is a fishing festival, fish festival there in Deep Bay that I think I would have to attend. But don't close the door, leave it open still. But I know you're gonna be having your event this Saturday and in Nevis, and I really would like to support you. So let's take a listen to Sister Carmen.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shillings, by Carmen Catering Services, girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and Sundays. Opposite the our shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishall's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and a candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishall. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishall, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishall. Log on.
Yes, man. So every Wednesday evening, we're right here at the DJ Mauricio Experience. And, you know, I enjoy coming here and basically giving the information and receiving responses, because you guys might not know it, but you're really educating me on a lot of stuff. Over the past couple of weeks, I have learned so much of our culture that I maybe have forgotten. People have just changed. But one thing I can say, I do not like some of the attitude I am seeing within our beloved federation. Too much expectation with no contribution. If you expect to receive out of something, be a part of the process, be a part of the preparation, be a part of the work. You can't just sit back and look on, and when things seems to be going a certain way, then you want to jump up and clap your hand and say, Mimi, I'm here. These days, everybody's labor. I was never labor, Pam, Indian, or nothing else. I'm DJ Marisha, Benny Hutchinson, call me anything you want. I do not support no political party like that. I support Dr. Douglas during his time. I'm supporting Dr. Juno. I see the man for what he is, which is the best person. I said it prior to the election. I've experienced it. Is the best person for this time to run our beloved federation. Don't listen to Elimat and his stupidness about God sent Timothy to save country. How God going to send you to burn down a house and put you to build it back? That is what Timothy was doing. He burned down the house from 2015 to 2022. And for however he get it, I do not know. Elimat cursed him to me for the 7 years he was there. And the twilight, the eve of the election, Elimat going to come indoors and say, God sent Timothy to save this country. Come on, my good people. Who don't like the things I'm saying tough, but they are factual. I'm giving you the facts. So if you don't like facts, go someplace else, go listen to that one across the road there. Because over here, we're giving you the facts. So let's take a listen to my brother Lord Anything again. This one is called the United States of the Caribbean.
100 years later, we are naturally divided geographically. Sad to say, we separated politically. But I want this message to reach to every man, oh Lord, who are natives of these dear islands. So let's come together, Trinidad and Jamaica, out of many islands, we build one nation. Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat and St. Lucia, let's build a nation, the United States of the Caribbean. It's the only solution to the present situation. Trading blocks are forming annually all over the world, working towards common goals. Larger nations coming together for the betterment of their nation's future. We should take pattern, start falling in line from one Caribbean nation. Now is the time. In this chronic state of distrust and disunity, we'll only destroy our fragile economies. Take pattern of NAFTA and United Europe. Oh yes, rally together from one trading bloc. So let's come together.
Oh yeah.
Barbados, Grenada, out of many islands, we build one nation. St. Christopher Nevis, don't you ever miss this. Let's build a nation, the United States of the Caribbean, securing our islands for the future generations. Caribbean integration, it is the key to future prosperity. Same destiny, same motivation, same intention throughout the whole region. Let's start upgrading global influence by bargaining from a position of strength. If we are divided, larger nations, they will dictate. If we are united, they are forced to negotiate. Rally together, we can't afford no delay. I say, clear the way for United States of Caribbean Day. I'm calling Guyana, also Dominica, under the Almighty, we build one nation. St. Vincent Atola, St. Martin Anguilla, let's build a nation, the United States of the Caribbean, including all the islands that you did not hear me mention.
The late great Lord Anything.
That's my song. No lie. Oopade.
Yeah, serious track there by the late great the Lord Anything, the United States of the Caribbean. My good people, you do better together than apart, but I know sometimes you're better off staying away from some people because they mess with your peace of mind and it's not good. Nevertheless, let's talk about the reformation of our constitution. The Lord Anything one more time.
About the reform of the Constitution and the Constitution Reform Committee getting blows from everybody. Some say they are concerned about its composition and asking for electoral reform. Some say they want more equity. Some evoke Section 113. Listening to the debate you fighting, you dear wonder for some more concern about the next election than the reform of the Constitution. So we need a coming together to carefully plan our future for the 83 Constitution, causing too much fragmentation. At this crossroad of our country's development, the Constitution needs serious amendments. So let's all put brains together and stop this useless propaganda. Avoid disaster and confusion. Display common sense and professionalism. Let us build a strong foundation when we reform the Constitution.
Let's go on Anything.
Time for rumor or gossip. Let's get down to serious business. There is a lot of work to be done. Give your undivided attention. Fundamental rights and our freedoms, composition and form of legislation, belong as status and citizenship, should be priority on the list. Civil service and the ombudsman, electoral process and no protection, the appellate court system, only debating and reforming. So we need a coming together to carefully plan our future, and our Constitution should contain the pillars to build on. At this crossroad of our country's development, the Constitution needs serious amendments. So let's all put brains together and stop this useless propaganda. Avoid disaster and confusion. Display common sense and professionalism. Let us build a strong foundation when we reform the Constitution.
Let's go, Lord Anything. Come on.
Chance for everybody to work together in unity, irrespective of political persuasion, to chart our direction. It's time to unite all our abilities to enhance the growth of this country and show the whole Caribbean future. And those amendments we make will surely determine our fate. So we need a coming together to carefully plan our future. And our constitution is our most effective weapon. At this crossroad of our country's development, the constitution needs serious amendments. So let's all put brain together and stop this useless propaganda. Avoid disaster and confusion. Display common sense and professionalism. Let us build a strong foundation when we reform the constitution. Constitution reform is good for this country.
That one was a bummer there. My boy, brother Benter, so he loved that one. Good evening, brother Oakland Benter. Welcome to the ride. How is my cousin Kent there and Pam in the Virgin Islands? Hope you guys are doing well. Want to big up my engineer there, the man Ike, always doing his stuff out of TNT. Also want to touch my boy there, the man Avon Brown. How is Patsy Brown? How is Maral from the crew? My brother there, brother Carl Morris, how you doing? Sister Valencia Morris, hope all is well with you. Well, this one, we're going to drop this one speaking about giving up your lovely islands here for a foreign land. And this will be my final song by the Lord Anything. Like I said, Ivor, I am not giving you much of an overtime, if any, this evening. So this is my final track by my boy, the late great Lord Anything. Big up the man, Richie Bunting. How you doing over there in the VI?
One night in the Lexus car and his face look bright. He said, boy, you really need a break. Why not come with me to the States? I got a deal and the price is great. The last time me, boy, I'm disappointed. Material life gone to your head. You want me to leave this sweet country where peace and love is free. My life is just ain't right for me. Cause out the man stumbling and fumbling. But we have a peaceful island. Why should I trade it for material world? Yeah. Stop this scrambling for material things. To the master's will, and let peace and love be still in this land, or we'll be damned. Way blow.
Let's win. Lord Anything. Thank you.
Some paper, some even live in a skyscraper. But when I check out the media, how people living in terror, 20 lock on a triple door. The price of peace is a sacrifice. Material things will never suffice. But there be no greater satisfaction from an of this dispensation than peace and love in the land. So stop this tumbling and the fumbling. For we have a peaceful nation. Why should I trade it for material world? Yeah, must stop this fumbling for material things. You
Master's will, and let peace and love be still in this land, or we'll be damned. Way, way. You don't have to fear no Taliban. It's strictly peace and love in this land. You don't have to fear the Al-Qaeda or sleep at night in terror when you're living in this island. And even though things still getting tight, and the future not looking bright, we still have fortune down here. No need to pack up and go nowhere. Just be contented with your fair share and stop this tumbling and fumbling. 'Cause we have a peaceful nation. Why should I trade it for material world? Yeah, and stop this scrambling for material things. You better yield to the Master's will, and let peace and love be still in this land, or we'll be damned. Way blow. Aye, aye, aye.
Yes, that's the sound of the late great the man Lord Anything. And that brings us to the end of that version of the program for this evening. Now, as we get to the part that Ivor does not like, this is where we drop this track for you, Ivor. Take a listen to the unofficial national anthem of the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. This one is called Arise by the late great the King Arrow. I want to big up my boy Aston Williams there, the dancing commissioner, sister Laura, my cousin.
people, the other unite us all. Unambitious men just cannot be a part of this community. Displaying selfishness, a total lack of interest. No, I said no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct our mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Oh yeah.
Can your conscience be clear? Indulging corruption or misusing public office, being accused of unemployment and crimes, or disrupting a citizen's peace. Oh, my country in this harmony, separated politically. Hatred for a brother, cannot love each other. No, I say no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct our mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. So rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yeah, brother Ivor, right 8 o'clock on the dot tonight. You don't get a thing past me tonight. Right on the dot, brother Ivor. I want to say good evening to Sister Cora Bennett. Thanks for your continued support in keeping this program alive and lively. I also want to thank my boy there, Django, for sharing the feed. My boy Elvin Ellie, how you doing? How is the wife? Thanks for the usual contribution in sharing the feed. Sister Lavi Gums and crew out there. Just want to thank everyone for their continued support weekly by joining this program. Good evening, Sister Libel. Hope all is well with you. And look forward to seeing you back, same place here next Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. So, as usual, I pray that everyone have a safe Easter